alongside me. I suspect he's probably right, he usually is. So that would be Guillermo Vicario in goal, Joao Palhinha, Radu Dragusin and Mickey van der Ven the back three, Archie Gray and Jed Spence right and left, with Yves Bissouma and Conor Gallagher in midfield, then Pape Matar Sarr and Javi Simons supporting Kolo Muani up top. Two changes for Arsenal from Wednesday night's shocking drop of points against Wolves from 2-0 up to 2-all. First time in history the team bottom of the table have come from 2 down to avoid defeat against the team top of the table. Noni Madueke and Gabriel Martinelli drop out. Leandro Trossard and Eberechi Eze come in. They have David Raya in goal, Jurrien Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel, Piero Hincapié across the back, Eberechi Eze, Martin Zubimendi and Declan Rice making his 100th Premier League appearance for the club today. Bukayo Saka right, Leandro Trossard left, and Victor Gyökeres will lead the line once again for Arsenal today. I'm trying to think to myself, Chris, for whom it's more important that they really go out and have a go at this game.
I think for the fans in this stadium, it's going to be Tottenham to actually play some attacking football and not sit back and allow the other team to dominate, which is what they've done virtually every game I've seen them play this season. They have bent over and allowed the other team to take control. Arsenal need to go and play with a bit of flair and win this. They just need to find a way to win this game.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a message to the fans and to Man City if they take the handbrake off today.
If they take the handbrake off and they go and win 2-3-0 and put on a performance, it does send a message to Manchester City. But it doesn't matter about that. They just need to find a way to win.
Yeah. Is this result crucial in the title race in terms of Arsenal's own minds?
It's crucial because Manchester City have a chance to overtake them if they don't get anything from this game.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. As I mentioned in the build-up, this feels like the most high-stakes North London derby, perhaps, of the 2000s. It's absolutely massive. Tottenham in relegation trouble potentially. They are lining up with the three at the back, as we suspected. Joao Palhinha to the right of Radu Dragusin and Mickey van der Ven to his left. 4 times this season Tottenham have played with a back three. On only one of those occasions have they lost. That though was in the reverse fixture, which finished 4-1. Declan Rice will be the man to get us underway, with Arsenal shooting from left to right in their red jerseys, white shorts, red socks. Tottenham in their white jerseys, navy blue shorts, white socks. This is one of the rivalries in English football, as Arsenal look to attack early doors with Trossard out to the left-hand side, narrow position for Piero Hincapié, and Tottenham, as suspected, have settled into a deep block behind the ball, and Arsenal have it back on halfway with William Saliba. To the right-hand side for Timber. There's the first pressing challenge from the man wearing the captain's armband today, Mickey van der Ven. And it's like he's scored a goal, sliding in and putting the ball into touch on halfway for an Arsenal throw.
It's a magnificent atmosphere, isn't it? The crowd are really up for this, and this is what they built this stadium for. You know, full house, games like this. Brilliant, brilliant atmosphere. Arsenal are going to have to sort of try and get the crowd out of the game by just keeping the ball and controlling the game.
The 199th North London derby. If you're looking for omens and you are of a Tottenham persuasion, I could say to you that only 4 times in the last 30 meetings has the home team actually lost. That being said, 3 of those 4 were the last 3 here, as Bukayo Saka looks to attack down the right-hand side, fresh from becoming their biggest ever paid player. To the left-hand side they come now, with Gabriel stepping forward. It is Arsenal who have started on the front foot so far. Minute and a half gone. Declan Rice picking up in that position left of centre to Martin Zubimendi, just advanced of the centre circle. Out to the right for Timber. Timber tries to slip it into Eze. It's well read by Pape Matar Sarr, but it's given away by Javi Simons. Back to Eze, and here goes Saka. Tries to play in Timber. It's well blocked, and Tottenham come away with Spence. Runs in to Zubimendi, and it's a throw-in on the near touchline, right in front of Igor Tudor, with the shaven head and the beard, a intimidating figure in football over the last 30 years or so. 55 caps for Croatia. Played for Juventus during that period where the Scudetto was won on multiple occasions. And that blocked by Trossard from an attempted clearance on that far side by Palhinha keeps Tottenham in trouble, although Xavi Simons is coming back to do some defensive work. He hooked it over his shoulder, wouldn't find Randall Kolo-Muani, and Tottenham, Chris, have so far been unable to get their foot on the ball and bring any control to this.
I think Igor Tudor will know that the way he's set up is for them to sit back in a little bit of a deep block, and Arsenal are going to have more of the ball. It's just, can they connect when they win it back? And they haven't been able to as yet, as you say.
Rice over on the far side, midpoint of the Tottenham half, comes back to Gabriel. Gabriel across towards Timber in a narrow right position. Now forward and right to Bukayo Saka, hugging the touchline, moving in and attacking Jed Spence. Releases Timber. There's the cross to the back post. There's Gyökeres. Radu Dragusin blocks it just ahead of the goalkeeper. Brings it down on his thigh, wallops it away. It would have been a pretty comfortable one for Vicario, but Dragusin was there to deal with it.
Yeah, lovely overlap from Timber going round. Saka, little dink to the back post. Gyökeres strong to get away from the contact to Palhinha, but his header lacked power, and it hits Dragusin on the left thigh, and then he clears it with his right foot. But as you say, not really enough power to have beaten Vicario anyway.
But worrying signs if you are a Tottenham fan at this moment in time. They cannot get the ball. 4 minutes gone. They must have had only about 6 or 7 touches, I'd have thought. Gabriel moves it to Rice to his left. North London derby day in the Premier League. Away it goes by Raya, looking for Bukayo Saka, is in behind, and the goalkeeper has come and diving headed it away to Trossard only. Trossard's shot towards goal. Goodness me, Mickey van der Ven left it. Dragusin had to clear that one away, and they nearly got themselves in an almighty mix-up, and it's still not clear. Maybe now Mickey van der Ven's headed to the side. Spence away, only as far as Timber. Arsenal making a flying start here. Timber, there's the cross, away by Dragusin, who's all action so far in this game. And then Spence is fouled rather harshly, if you ask me, by Leandro Trossard. And goodness me, what a mix-up that nearly was in defence for Tottenham, for whom, perhaps rather surprisingly, Vicario is getting high fives from his defence.
Well, I think Vicario does brilliantly, because if he doesn't get to that ball, that's one straight ball in behind Van der Ven. If he doesn't get his head on that, Saka is past him, and he's probably bringing Saka down and he's sent off. But the surprise was when Van der Ven left it. The shot from Trossard was spinning awkwardly, and Van der Ven left it, and Dragusin behind him wasn't expecting him to leave it, and fortunately bounced up and almost hit him on the head. But
yeah, he reacted just in time as the ball is played up towards Randall Kolo-Muani. Bounces off of him. Rice hooks that one away. One in the midfield by Bissouma. Comes back at Tottenham. Header away by Dragusin. Rice powerful in the midfield. That's going to find its way to Saka. He loops the ball to Trossard. Not quite under control, but they'll work it out to Piero Hincapié now. He's got a crossing opportunity towards Saka. Spence away. Picked up by Timber 5 yards outside the box. To Zubimendi now. And here's Gabriel joining in. Arsenal piling bodies forward in these first 6 minutes. Gabriel gives it to Trossard. Diminutive figure over on the left-hand side. And Tottenham back in their shape, forcing Arsenal back towards halfway, and here's Saliba. To Timber. It looks, this system, like there's lots of space for players to pick balls up in holes for Arsenal. Here's Saka. Saka to Gabriel. I think Arsenal fans shouting shoot there from 40 yards. That would have been ambitious for the centre-back, and certainly not something I would have thought that Mikel Arteta ever encourages. Here's Timber. Although, of course, Arteta would have been around and watching when Vincent Kompany scored that goal for Manchester City against Leicester all that time ago. Here's a ball into the left-hand channel for Gyökeres. Gyökeres cuts inside, shoots low, and that has flashed across goal. Vicario, I'm not 100% sure would have had it covered, but Gyökeres goes just wide for Arsenal. 7 gone 0-0.
Yeah, lovely ball down the side in Gyökeres, left-hand side of the penalty box, cuts inside, Dragusin whips a shot low and hard towards the bottom left-hand corner of Vicario's goal, and it's inches wide. As you say, I'm not sure Vicario was getting across there.
It's a super shot. It's the sort of thing that Arsenal would have wanted to see from him far, far more.
Well, but that's the spaces he wants to get into. Those spaces down the side where he can get turned and take people on. He's really positive when he does that, Gyökeres.
Peter Banks has just slowed things down for a moment. Just waiting to see what that might be about.
There can only be, I'd imagine, something wrong with someone's communication or something like that. Or
certainly there is a conversation going on over the far side between an assistant and another gentleman wearing a headset. It doesn't look like he's part of the officials' party, but this might just help Tottenham, Chris, actually.
Well, they need to settle down, don't they? They've been under pressure since the start of the game, 8 minutes in. I mean, it's been all Arsenal. Tottenham do just need a little breather, just get together, just settle everything down. They look like a team who are under massive pressure, Tottenham, early on.
Am I right in thinking this 3-4-2-1, you know, at this moment in time, they're sort of being forced to make it a 5, but there does look like there's space for Arsenal to double up either side.
It's very
behind
narrow.
The wing backs.
It's a very narrow formation, isn't it? You've got your two wing backs, but the way Arsenal are playing with their wingers, when you play with a 4-3-3 like Arsenal do, your two wingers end up pinning your wing backs back.
Yeah.
And so you've basically got a back five playing against a front three, and then you've got four midfielders, very narrow and central.
Yeah.
And Arsenal at the moment are just pulling out into those wider areas, just outside that midfield four, and are finding space to receive the ball.
And effectively, Tottenham are trusting that they will be able to get the headers away. But so far, we've seen the Gyökeres one in particular, where he managed to get up above Joao Paulinho. You are not missing any action. This issue involving the officials' communications, what we understand to be, although that is not confirmed.
Well, we're missing some communication for that, aren't we?
Absolutely, you're not wrong. As we do on our monitors get this lovely view of Gyökeres' effort with the ref cam, which went only just wide, and Nkapie, as he ran in front of referee Peter Banks after that, put his head in his hands. He knew how close that was. And Victor Gyökeres, are you thinking that Arsenal might still really make a success of him, or is this an experiment that perhaps I think not convinced is going to work?
I'm not sure Arsenal. I think he could be a success in the Premier League.
Yes.
I'm just not sure Arsenal was the right team,
or that Arteta's the right coach.
Or Arteta's the right coach, because he needs the ball into him earlier than Arsenal.
Yes.
Arteta likes to build, and what happens is most teams sit back against Arsenal and there's no space for Gyökeres to take advantage of. He's a much better player in a team that is very quick transitionally from winning it back, gets the ball forward early, where there's bigger spaces and more space in behind for him to run into.
Igor Tudor has just pulled over Yves Bissouma and Mickey van der Ven to try and get a message across to them. He's talking about the relationship that they will have in this system, pointing into particular triangles that he wants them to build, presumably with the third centre-back, Radu Dragusin, as well. And you have still not missed any action for the last, 3 minutes, I think? 3.5 minutes?
Coming up to 3 minutes, isn't it, certainly?
Since that Victor Gyökeres effort, which was in the 7th minute of the game. That was the last kick we've had. We are approaching the 11-minute mark. Mikel Arteta is now being given some detail from Peter Banks, the referee. Gabriel Ainsa, the assistant, is alongside there, and Mikel Arteta looks frustrated.
I think he will be, because his team are very much on the front foot.
Yeah, they were. And Igor Tudor will be thinking, I thought the Premier League was supposed to be quick. It's a left field appointment, isn't it? That's for sure. It came out of nowhere. He obviously thought about it extensively, and it is the assistant on the far side whose communication device is being replaced. Didn't they just used to shout at each other in your day?
Yeah, they did. They did, and then they got...
Get your voice out, mate.
Then there was a button on the bottom of the flag that you pressed that alerted the referee that you'd put your flag up. Yeah. Now it's even more complicated, but not working, unfortunately.
Just at this moment in time, the conversation is being had with Declan Rice at the moment, and along comes Conor Gallagher, whose name I don't think I've mentioned in play for Tottenham so far. It's his first experience of the North London derby.
He's played in a few games against Arsenal for Chelsea. You'll certainly know that's a big enough game in itself.
Yeah, this is another level though, isn't it? Make no mistake about it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The rivalry is huge.
Probably even tops the Madrid derby, I would say. It's difficult, isn't it?
I'm not sure about that.
Well, it's difficult because, you know, Real Madrid, you know, obviously they've got the City rivalry, but they see Barcelona as the big ones, don't they? And if it's not your biggest rival,
it wouldn't have been for Conor Gallagher being an Atletico Madrid player.
No, that's true. Radu Dragushin rolls it out to the right-hand side, and we are finally back underway. Nearly 6 minutes on as Randall Kolomuani turns it round the corner for Javi Simons. He's tried to lay it into Kolomuani inside the area, but that was too close to David Raya. And there we see immediately the difference after that break in play. Tottenham have had a little chance to regroup and finally launch their first attack of the game. Didn't come to anything, but that's going to give Arsenal something to think about. Long one away by Raya. Gyökeres trying to pin Dragushin. He's been excellent so far this afternoon. Heads it down to Bissouma. Little chip ball up towards Randall Kolomuani. He tries to turn Gabriel. The decision goes Arsenal's way. And goodness me, the atmosphere in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is absolutely crackling.
No doubt Tottenham were able to get together and try and work out a couple of ways to get forward a little bit quicker.
Another header won by Dragushin, and it will start an attack for them. Here's Javi Simons. Tottenham have had more touches of the ball in the 1 minute since we restarted than they did in the first 7 minutes of the game. Simons gets it back from Spence, wants an option, has to come back into the centre circle for Bissouma. To his right for João Palhinha. Tottenham have pushed up towards the halfway line, although Dragushin forced back by the press of Gyökeres to Vicario. First touch takes him backwards, has to run around the ball. The man all in blue away to our right before clearing away. Conor Gallagher just helped away from the ball by Gabriel, and Arsenal will pick up again from a headed Tottenham ball with Saliba to Piero Hincapié, the Ecuadorian. So we are due at least 6 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half already. Saliba to Timber. Interesting to note that Ricardo Calafiori is on the bench again for us. I wonder if you see Hincapié now as the first choice left back.
No. He's a shadow. Calafiori is the best left back in the league for me by a country mile, and Arsenal miss him so much. Just what he gives you in terms of, he's a brilliant defender, he can get forward, he can attack, and he's so good at set pieces as well.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's got absolutely everything. As Eza tries to get away, he's managed to get a bit of fortune to find Trossard, who's released Rice. Declan Rice tries to slip it in towards Gyökeres, and guess who's there again? He's been absolutely outstanding, Radu Dragushin. Last man slides it away. Quarter of an hour gone, throw into Arsenal, which they've taken quickly. Rice.
The worry for Spurs is it's had to be absolutely outstanding.
Zubimendi across towards Timber. One more to Bukayo Saka. Up against Spence. Gets the cross in. Header away and behind by Yves Bissouma. Corner to Arsenal. Where have we heard that before?
Every time Arsenal attack, there's a threat again. It's Gyökeres pulling wide into those wide channels and getting in down the side in between Palhinha and Dragushin. Looked to be a perfect pass from Declan Rice, but Dragushin just wanted it more, didn't he? Got across, slid across and cleared the danger, but it's another corner to Arsenal, and we all know how good they are at these.
Two expert sides actually in terms of corners on show today, and Tottenham's record defensively from them is pretty decent as well. Joint fourth record in the Premier League, actually matching Arsenal's in terms of set pieces, and only conceded 4 goals from corners this season. Arsenal one of just 2 sides with a better record in terms of that. As Saka delivers the ball in to the back post, headed back and towards goal by Saliba. That's a great chance, and he's nodded it wide. Well, that was Gyökeres at the back post who headed that one down. Loads of time to do so, and Saliba will be furious with himself that he didn't get that on target.
It's difficult to score for Saliba. It's really well worked. Gyökeres free, heads it back into the ground, and it bounces up, so there's no pace on the ball for Saliba. He just guides it towards goal. He's got to hit the target without a doubt, but I still think the Spurs player would have cleared it.
It was a great header down by Gyökeres. It's normally Gabriel that we see at the back post, isn't it, who heads it towards goal. This one bent just a little bit further, and Gyökeres was the man there. Oh, it's been given away terribly by Simons to Trossard, edge of the D, brought it down, put it on his left foot, and smacks it high and wide. That was a gift for Leandro Trossard, and then a gift for Spurs that he made such a mess of it.
He gets the ball, doesn't he? And he's never going to beat Dragoshin, and Palhinha decides to take the shot. And could he just have waited for a little bit of support? I think he was a little bit rash there. It would have been an absolute brilliant goal for him to score from there, bend it round the back of Palhinha into the top corner, which is what he would have had to do.
But this is feeling like a problem at the moment for Tottenham, that right now they have few answers for.
It's almost a carbon copy of the game at the Emirates, where Tottenham sat back and Arsenal just attacked and attacked and attacked.
You're doing very, very well, even with Arsenal's relative problems in attack, to stop them for 90 minutes. Not many do that. 2 passes in the final third for Tottenham, 26 for Arsenal so far. Scored in 35 of their last season's worth of Premier League football, Arsenal. 35 out of 38 Premier League games. Oh, that's been given away, and Tottenham will break, and Raya with a high starting position comes rushing out of his box, and at this moment in time it does feel like an error like that might be Tottenham's best chance.
Yeah, it was just a ricochet, really, wasn't it? A 50-50 challenge between Simons and Saliba, and it just rebounded into the path of Conor Gallagher, but he didn't have the pace to get there. As you say, Raya is known for his high start position, and he's always very quick off his line, and he was comfortably there, wasn't he, to clear the danger. Never really any danger for Spurs, but as you say, that looks Tottenham's best opportunity at the moment, is go and win the ball high up the pitch and try and just, cause some havoc.
Just seen a close-up of Archie Gray, who's taken an entirely accidental elbow to the face by Victor Gyökeres, but he has got a bloodied nose.
I'd say he's probably got a broken nose.
Yeah, he might do, and this would be another stoppage. Honestly, good-looking chap like that, that's not what you need at this age. But they're going to do the old cotton wool bud up the nose, and off he goes again. Brave young man, talented young man, part of the Greys that came through at Leeds. How many generations is that now? 4?
At
3?
Least, I think it's definitely at least 3, could well be 4.
Yeah, it might be. Dragoshin with another header away, Sarr underneath it, on by Gallagher. Kolo Muani with a little backflip to Xavi Simons, tries to turn it back towards Kolo Muani, and I think he went down hoping for a foul, but he didn't even claim it, and then Spence comes through the back of Bukayo Saka.
Well, Tottenham fans feel that Xavi Simons was fouled just before Saka, but
not sure.
I don't think he was. No,
didn't seem it to me.
Looked like he just tried to cut inside and gave the ball away, and then went to ground a little easy.
What's you made of Xavi Simons so far?
I think it's improved. I think it's improved as the season's gone on. I think he's
that's given away, and Sarr gives it to Simons. First touch wasn't great, but Sarr has it, into the box. Sarr strikes, hits Gabriel, and a ricochet out to the far side for Archie Gray. Barely enough time for Chris Perry to get his points across at the moment. Archie Gray gets the cross in, Simons attacks it, it'll drop to Spence from the Saliba clearance on the near side. Spence back to Van de Ven. Van de Ven bends the ball, that'll be Raya's ball all day long, edge of the D, edge of the 6-yard box I should say, and he bowls out to Trossard. Up towards Gyökeres, he's going to try and spin Dragoshin. Dragoshin will prevent him from getting away, and then back comes Bissouma to give it back to Vicario.
Well, the roof is going to come off this stadium if Tottenham score here.
Might do.
Every time they get in Arsenal's half,
it's built better than that, but I take your point. Yeah, I mean, it was from an Arsenal mistake.
And Capier's just holding his knee, isn't he? Limping slightly.
Yeah, well, Calafiori is the option from the bench, although, I suppose if they did want it, as Spence catches the back of Saka again and is disappointed to be penalised.
He's fortunate not to pick up a yellow card, probably more for his reaction
he really
than anything else.
Out exactly the point I was going to make.
Yeah. Saka comes inside and goes between Van der Ven and Spence, and Spence doesn't do an awful lot wrong. But that's all it is, exactly. But his reaction, usually you get booked for that reaction.
Yeah, it was a throw of the fist in frustration towards the ground, and then a shout out at the ref as well. We are very nearly at the midpoint of this first half, although 6 minutes of it was stopped due to an issue with the communication device between the assistant and the ref. Declan Rice will take this free kick with the 2 holes cut in the back of his socks on the calves.
So many players have that now, don't they?
Yeah, it's all psychological. There's absolutely no real reason for it. Here's Rice's delivery into the centre. That's not the best one. Headed away by Van der Ven. Eze underneath it. Challenge there. Finds Bissouma coming in on Trossard, and he wants the ball. It's going to be Arsenal's. Tottenham fans are baying for something to go their way. I have to say, I think Peter Banks is doing a good job so far.
I think if Bissouma doesn't get the ball, then he's going to get a yellow card, because his studs were up, and he clearly goes through the ball with his studs, and as he's bouncing quite high. So,
yeah, probably quite pleased that it's just the throw-in exactly. Here's Timber running down the middle of the field for Arsenal. Then he squares it to Zubimendi. One more for Piero Hincapié. Trossard tackled by Bissouma. It's been great in the last 5 minutes or so. He goes down, and Tottenham get a decision. What feels like a bit of a soft decision to me there for Bissouma, but he's finally got one for his team.
And he's earned that, hasn't he? You know, he's earned that by the way he got about the pitch, and he made something happen on Trossard. Completely shrugged him off. Tries to come away from the ball. I don't think it's a foul, but he's earned it.
Yeah. Hincapié just couldn't turn as quickly as Bissouma did, and ran into him. Just caught his leg. It's a soft one, but it's one that Tottenham will take, and they'll go long up towards Spence. Bounces off of him. Will find Zubimendi only, and here's Gabriel, left-footed ball away. Flick header on, looking for Trossard, and the goalkeeper comes and clears away.
And that's the beauty of the back three.
And then Saliba heads out into touch on the near side, throwing Spurs high up.
Trying to be a little bit too clever there, Saliba, trying to just glance it to his right-hand side, and got it wrong. It's a throw into Spurs.
Taken down to Sarr. Those white Spurs shirts are struggling to deal with the blood red of Arsenal so far, but they have crucially withstood all of the attacks so far. 0-0, 25 on the clock.
Just got back. I was just about to say, the long ball from Gabriel into the front was flicked on into the path of Trossard by Gyökeres, but because you've got that extra defender there, Radu Dragusin was already coming round and covering round, and that's what that back three's there for.
Is it me, or has this been an outstanding Gyökeres centre-forward performance so far?
He's been good so far. He's been good, but I think he likes this when it's a little bit more direct into him. He's got that physical contact as well. Yeah,
but like some decent runs. That flick on was outstanding to Trossard. All right, didn't work for them, but repeatedly he's won little battles. He's had that excellent shot that he sort of created the space for himself from the left. That's the closest we've come to a goal, really, that plus the Saliba header from the corner.
But these are the sort of games that can be the making of you, aren't they? You know, if he was to go and score a couple of goals and Arsenal were to win today, that could really, you know, give him lift off of his Arsenal career.
Yeah. And in a way, if he did score a couple of goals, he'd want it to be 2-0 or 2-1 rather than 5-0.
Yeah.
You want your goals to really count, to be the man you can rely on to win you the tight games. Even 1-0. Score the only goal in a tight 1-0. Rice had made a run in behind there that was not found by Hincapié from inside his own half.
Yeah, Declan Rice was in. He was in on goal if the ball had gone over the top there, because Dragusin had followed Gyökeres out and left a huge space.
Well, that's given away again, this time by Timber.
That's going to be a yellow card.
Burst onto by Sarr.
That should be a yellow card. He'll be very fortunate.
Here is the first yellow card of the game. It has gone Jurriën Timber's way, and it's taken 27 minutes of the match for that to happen.
Yeah, it's sloppy from him. Sarr's onto it quickly, gets his body in front. Timber just drags him to the ground. Clearly a yellow card.
The first yellow card of the afternoon is Jurriën Timbers. They've got the best left back in the league in Calafiore. I think they've got the best right back as well in Timber, but that wasn't him at his best. And Tottenham will have an opportunity from a set piece to deliver a ball up towards the Arsenal area. Simons over it. Can the Dutchman deliver? Van der Ven, of course, is a potential threat from these situations. He's in the box, so is Palhinha. There's Simons' delivery, looks too much. Dragoshin, has he kept it in? No. And that is a disappointment for Spurs and a goal kick to Arsenal.
Yeah, it's a disappointment as a centre-back that when you go up, you think you're going to get a chance to attack the ball and it's overhit.
Tottenham have only got a couple of players in their squad at the moment who have scored for them against Arsenal. With Charlison, who is on the bench today rather surprisingly, and Christian Romero, who of course is serving the second of a 4-match suspension for that ridiculous red card against Manchester United. Here's Bukayo Saka inside right, out to Timber. Had the option in the box of Zubimendi if he'd gone early, but he elected to come back to Saliba. Rice, Eza, was Nkapie managing to get away. He's spun. Was he brought down by Palhinha? No. Arsenal continue with it though. Centre of the field, Zubimendi comes back to Rice into the centre circle for Saliba. This moment in time, Simons is as high up the field as Kolo Muani.
Well, they're almost defending in a 2-1-2, aren't they, in front of that a back four at times. Van der Ven's almost come to left back.
Yeah, I think Spence had just stepped up and central, hadn't he? He's dropped back there now. It's back to that back five. Now Van der Ven will press Saka on the halfway line, and has he got it? I think he did. Yeah, it was Simons then catches Saka. It was the lightest of touches by Van der Ven. He does that press brilliantly. He did it in the first minute, didn't he, when he got that first tackle?
He's so quick, isn't he?
So quick.
He's so quick to cover that ground.
Yeah.
You don't expect him to be behind you so quickly when you receive the ball, but just his pace is incredible.
But also the reading of the game to go, this is the moment to do it. As Zubimendi is caught by Kolo Muani. 5 goals and an assist, Kolo Muani, in 11 games under Igor Tudor for Juventus last season. They didn't lose any of the games in which he had a goal involvement.
Well, they'll just be happy to get a goal for Tottenham.
Yeah.
18 appearances in the Premier League, no goals at the moment.
Absolutely.
He could make a name for himself today, though, if he gets one.
He's basically really only ever done it for one club, hasn't he, if we're honest. One season after a free transfer to Eintracht Frankfurt, went for 100 million euros to PSG, partly, by the way, off the back of that World Cup performance as well. Albeit that he missed the golden opportunity to win it in the one-on-one with Emi Martinez as Vicario clears the ball away. All that touch on by Zubimendi might find Kolo Muani, and he has pulled down Gabriel. And they do well to avoid a booking himself there, Kolo Muani.
Well, he's committing giving away a lot of free kicks, isn't he? And he clearly just tries to spin Gabriel, and it is a foul. Gabriel actually doesn't do... It was not great defending from Gabriel, let me just say.
Speaking of, Spence has just allowed Saka to get beyond him. He's literally holding Saka by both... How has he not given the free kick for that? Right in front of the assistant. He had, from behind, his 2 hands holding him by the... like he was giving him a massage on his shoulders. How was that not a foul? In the end, Arsenal still have a throw. Timber takes it, it's volleyed into the box by Zubimendi, away by Palhinha, volleyed towards goal by Eza, blocked, comes out to Timber on the near side, the right, Saka beyond him, here is Bukayo Saka, Sarr comes out to meet him, makes the challenge, loses it, Saka into the box for Eza! He's done it again against Tottenham! Arsenal lead at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the ground he was meant to grace in white. It is the Reds of North London who are celebrating celebrating again. Tottenham 0, Arsenal 1. Eze from close range.
Yeah, and I think Tottenham are going to be a little bit disappointed with the defending on the left-hand side that allows Saka to get into the byline. It looked like they sort of just calmed the attack, slowed the attack down. It looked like Saka wasn't going to get away from, I think it was Bissouma who came across, and he managed to wriggle through the legs of Bissouma, get to the byline, cut it back into a dangerous area. The ball sort of ricocheted up into the path of Eze. It's a good run initially from Saka, receives the ball from Timber. Sarr comes across, it sort of wriggles through his legs. They're very fortunate there, Saka. Low ball, goes in between two Tottenham legs, off of Bissouma and Gallagher. Sits up nicely for Eze, and he just puts his foot through it. Right foot finish, low and hard. Vicario's got no time to react.
Well, you can't say it hasn't been coming, but that is why he was selected. The moment's man. What a moment. And Mikel Arteta celebrates his selection.
Mikel Arteta will be celebrating, but if you're Tottenham, you've got to be looking. 7 points Arsenal have lost from losing positions in the last 5 games. You've got to be thinking, we've just got to keep this tight, keep knocking on the door, and they will give us an opportunity.
It's worth adding as well that the team scoring first in this fixture has failed to win on 30 occasions in the Premier League. And here comes Colomwani in the box! Low! Driven home to open his Premier League account! He has made a name for himself in the best league in the world! And the derby has liftoff for Tottenham now! Arsenal do have a soft underbelly when they're ahead! And Colomwani in from the left, delayed, and then put his foot through it! Tottenham 1, Arsenal 1!
This is a horrendous mistake from Declan Rice. Absolutely uncharacteristic, so uncharacteristic, Declan Rice. He just gets caught in possession. He's dealing with it, he just needs to clear his lines. He tries to be too clever, tries a bit of skill on the edge of his box, gives it away. Colomwani drives in from on the left-hand side. Goal opens up, someone's got to get across and challenge him. Gabriel's got to commit and go to the ball, he doesn't, and it allows Colomwani to get to the corner of the 6-yard box and fire a low shot past Raya. Terrible from Declan Rice.
He steamed Rice once he got away from him, didn't he? And then the finish was unerring. Raya with no chance from that sort of range. Game on at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Arsenal will simply look to do it again as Saka loses out to Spence. His clearance finds only Zubamendi. He nods it to Saka again. Spence comes in. That's a Tottenham throw. I have to say, I thought that came off of Spence last, but Saka got the final touch. Well, that was worth the selection as well, wasn't it, Colomwani? Just pressed Rice. Nicked it away from him. And there was no chance he was passing. Tottenham's first shot on goal results in a goal. Saliba hooks one rather awkwardly over his own shoulder. Colomwani loses out to Timber. There was a shade of a handball in there, but nothing given. 36 on the clock. Igor Tudor has his first goal as a Premier League manager. Saliba to Gabriel. I was just saying, in reference to what you had talked about with Arsenal's problems of dropping points from goal scoring positions, the team scoring first in this fixture has failed to win on 30 of the occasions that it's been played. It's only been 67. That means 19 draws for the team that scored first and 11 defeats. That is a record for any Premier League matchup. As Dragushin wins the ball, but it drops only to Nkapie, who finds Saka! What a save by Vicario! It hits Van de Ven and goes behind.
Saka should score.
What a chance!
It's brilliant goalkeeping from Vicario, but Saka should score. but that's the second time now he's got in behind the Spurs defence from one long straight ball. Just runs in behind Van de Ven. You think Van de Ven's quick. He's got to deal with that. He looks like he's really struggling, Van de Ven. Saka's in, he just needs to pass it either side of Vicario. Vicario makes himself big, it hits him on the leg. What a save from the Spurs keeper.
This is some game now. Away by Palhinha, rather awkwardly, finds only his opposite number, Gabriel. He's caught by Gallagher, a little bit late there, and he's stayed down clutching his right ankle. Was that yellow card worthy? It looks like the referee has deemed it not so.
It's a little bit late. It's not yellow card worthy. It's not studs. It's just a little clip on the back of the heel.
It does feel to me, you talked about Saka and his form this season, that last season he'd have scored that.
He would.
But he has been a threat again today. He's trying to get on there, ball into the box again, and he does so to the back post. That was well watched by Archie Gray. The 1-4 against Rice's 4-1, and it was the young right-sided player who's headed that one in and behind for an Arsenal corner.
It's really good defending, because it's a difficult one when there's someone coming in over the back of your shoulder as a right back. You're working your feet backwards and you're trying to glance it, but you're trying to keep an eye on him as well. He's done really well there.
Gabriel among those lurking, of course. Gallagher, the man marking him at this moment in time. He's tried the block, ended up going towards Van de Ven, who also blocked him, and then the header into the near side away by Dragushin. Spence tries to get the ball off of Gyökeres. Now it's Timber. Bissouma snapping at his heels and winning that one, throwing Arsenal high up on the right-hand side. I think it's fair to say, whatever you think of Arsenal, they've come to play today, haven't they?
They have. They'll be so disappointed conceding that goal so quickly and in the manner in which they conceded it.
Timber. Saliba. Zubamendi. Cross towards Declan Rice on his 100th Premier League appearance for Arsenal. Coming forward once again. Now comes back to Gabriel. Now they're going to try and find Saka behind Sarr. Gets a toe on it, maybe not enough. Saka, shot blocked, it'll run its way to Timber, who's goal side of Spence. Towards goal by Trossard! Oh, that is just wide of Vicario's right-hand post. So close from Trossard.
Oh, it's brilliant. Brilliant. Lovely little cutback from Timber. One touch to set himself, and Trossard drags it across goal. Just comes off. I think it's Bissouma. It hits him. It does. And it trickles. And Vicario's already on the floor as it's trickling past the post. And he's thinking, please go wide. And it just about does.
It really was just wide. And credit to the official for spotting the deflection as well. This is a corner to be taken by Rice from the Arsenal left. On top of the goalkeeper who flaps at it, but he does just enough, and then Bissouma clears away. Central position, Saka attacking inside the area. And he's really rather hacked at Joao Palhinha.
Well, it should be a foul.
I think he's just going to give up Tottenham the chance to get away. Conor Gallagher, here's Simons. Dragushin's the man who's running beyond. Simons just allowed Trossard to get back at him. He's blocked it. The ball from Simons, shielding it out of play, and that's a throw-in for Arsenal, right side of their own half. But that was a really difficult one for Vicario to deal with, that right corner. He just got enough on it. You're right, there would have been a foul, but Tottenham managed to get it away. And we are back with Arsenal in possession inside their own 18-yard box with Raya.
I think what you know with Vicario when he comes to corners, he's going to punch the ball down. So if you've got to get someone around the middle of the 6-yard box ready to put that back into the net for Arsenal, and they didn't have anyone there.
No, it went longer and further than it perhaps should have before it reached Saka, who was well outside the box. Here is Gallagher giving it to Spence. Jed Spence with time to run down the left-hand side, rather awkwardly with the ball all on his right foot. Saka comes in with the challenge. Certainly couldn't, given the relative form of Saka this season, accuse him of playing for a contract, could you? His numbers are well down on last season.
I think the injuries are adding up and have just taken their toll on him.
Would you be concerned if you were him about your England place at this moment in time?
I'd be concerned about my Arsenal place. I think Madueke's been superb on the right-hand side.
Yeah. Well, they tried the experiment midweek,
the other night, and it didn't work.
No. Dragusin will take this long throw for Tottenham. One of the features of the Premier League season. Can Spurs take advantage of this? In it goes towards the near post. Header away, rather awkwardly by Nkapie, goes behind and rather needlessly gives Tottenham a corner.
Well, he doesn't even need to head it. If he gets a shout from behind, he can just leave this. An awful throwing from Dragusin. And he now concedes a corner, and Spurs, as you said, are the second best, highest goal scoring from corners, second only to Arsenal, but they certainly give Arsenal a few problems here.
Yeah, just one goal fewer from corners than Arsenal this season. Van der Ven, Dragusin, of course, potential options. Palhinha's in there as well. Simons ready to deliver from the Tottenham left. The right footer, in it goes, punched by Raya. There was nobody really attacking it, has to be said, and Bissouma will touch it back to Spence, who's on the halfway line. To his right for Gray. Tottenham leaving bodies up. They do well to just loft this one forward. They do so towards Simons. Simons takes it on his chest up against Nkapie. Simons challenged, throw into Spurs again. Dragusin will get another option. We've got a minute of the normal 45 to go, but we know that there was a 6-minute stoppage. Would have thought that plus Archie Gray means it'll be more than 6 minutes.
It probably should be about 8 minutes, shouldn't it? You'd imagine 7-8 minutes. But they take it on now, they take it on at the end of the game.
Yeah, we shall see in about 30 seconds time. In the meantime, Arsenal have to deal with this long throw. And it goes towards the near post again. A little bit better trajectory this time, but an easy header away for Arsenal. And then Gyökeres looks just for a moment like he was going to be able to hold off Bissouma, but Simon just picked it up, found Dragusin, he's checked. Now he'll deliver a ball towards the back post. Raya comes. He's so quick, Raya. He was pretty much on his goal line when that ball was delivered, and then he emerged to the left edge of his 6-yard box to claim a bowl out. Tottenham have dealt with it. It's back with Raya again, all in that fading yellow goalkeeper's kit, from bright yellow to a faded colour down towards the bottom of the shorts. And there you go, 8 minutes is what we have at the end of this first half. An enthralling, intriguing, absorbing encounter. Tottenham 1, Arsenal 1. Eberechi Eze with the opener, and then 2 minutes later Declan Rice ceding control in a dangerous position to Randall Colomwani, who ran into the box and delivered an unerring shot to make it 1-1. Saka looking to restore Arsenal's lead here, comes back to Timber, might fancy a shot, instead goes back to Saliba. Here's Saka right side of the area again, attacking Spence. Spence stretches out an awkward looking but telescopic leg and wins his team the goal kick.
I'm not sure it was a goal kick, but he defended much better there, Jed Spence. When Saka tried to take him on down the outside, he didn't dive in, he was patient, he waited his time and he got his block in.
Bukayo Saka wearing the captain's armband again today, but it is Declan Rice who's trying to deliver a message to the team right now, and he's pointing to his head.
I think that was actually, we're seeing a replay of the message he was sent to the team just before the kickoff was taken, and then he's gone and done that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the long one away by Vicario. Again, Arsenal win the header, the first header, and then is Gyökeres being held by Dragusin.
He was clearly, the referee has missed it.
And it's back with Vicario. And then Colomwani with a little nudge on the back of Declan Rice. There's plenty of them, plenty of those. Colomwani, hasn't he?
You'd imagine he's going to pick up a yellow card at some stage here, just for the totting up process. But he's been good today. He's led the line well.
You wouldn't put it past Declan Rice to go and score the winner in a game like this now, would you?
You wouldn't.
Long one away by Arsenal. Dragoshin could have left it. Instead, he might have put his team under pressure here because it's dropped to Saka, but he couldn't bring it under control. Gallagher in the centre circle passes it to Archie Gray. Gray then lifts it over the top of the Arsenal defence towards Randall Colomwani, who tries to jump behind Gabriel. Absolutely no chance it was a foul. Arguably, he's fouled Gabriel, if anything.
Well, this will be interesting.
And here come Arsenal now with Bukayo Saka in the area. Saka tries to square it, blocked by Van de Ven. Is he fully fit, Mickey Van de Ven?
He doesn't look as moving. He doesn't move particularly well, does he? He looks a bit heavy almost at the moment.
He really does. As Simons runs into Eze. Oh, he gets it all wrong from
Slips,
distance,
doesn't he? I think they're claiming a corner. I think he might have kicked it onto his own foot here, Eze, as he just slipped as he went to take the shot. It's clever defending from Gabriel. He just runs across the path of Colomwani.
Yeah. And Colomwani did sort of almost try to jump to avoid catching his heel.
Yeah, there's nothing in it.
No, absolutely not. He's gone from, in many people's eyes, last couple of seasons being the sort of number two of the two centre-backs to, for many, the best centre-back in the Premier League now, Gabriel.
I think is as important as Virgil van Dijk is to Liverpool. Yeah. He is to Arsenal, without a doubt.
There was that period, wasn't there, where a couple of years ago Saliba got the injury towards the end of the campaign and things sort of fell away. You'd feel now, it almost made Saliba more important than perhaps
I think they missed Gabriel from a leadership point of view.
Oh, here's an opportunity for Declan Rice to drive forward, and Trossard's available to his left, and it just rather hit. It was Gabriel. It was Gyökeres's heels rather than Trossard, but it hit them rather than him being able to take the ball with him. Might have just delayed the pass half a yard too late.
I think you just need to put it in front of anywhere in front of Gyökeres there, and he's in on goal.
Dragusin trying to run. Gyökeres is lost out. It's Eze to Trossard. Trossard into the box. Might bobble for somebody in the 6-yard box. It does, but that somebody is the gloves of Guillermo Vicario.
Trossard's got to get his shot off earlier. Brilliant from Gyökeres. Great strength to hold off Dragusin. Slips into Eze, who slips it wide to Trossard, and Trossard has to come. When he comes inside, he's earned half a yard, get his shot off.
With nobody really around him, Colomwani, Arsenal are very much trusting the two centre-halves to deal with any long balls up to Colomwani.
They're comfortable to leave each other 1v1, aren't they, almost?
And it's worked again there. Flip header back by Gabriel. And Arsenal come again over the halfway line to Timber. Now Saka. Bukayo Saka now onto his left foot. One touch in the opposition box for Spurs. That was the goal as Nkapie drives towards goal. It's a big deflection and a corner. Well, I can't decide whether Spurs would be satisfied with this at half-time. Scoreline, certainly, of course. Performance, I mean, they've taken advantage of a really rare error from Declan Rice and offered, frankly, absolutely nothing else.
I mean, the only couple of half chances they've had, half opportunities really to even have an attack, have come from Arsenal's mistakes.
Yes, absolutely. It's fair to say some of the Tottenham fans in the corner there are giving Declan Rice exactly what they think of him. As Nkapie runs towards the near post, so does Timber, so does Zubimendi. Might leave Gyökeres at the back post. Radu Dragusin heads away, still not completely clear. Eze loses out in a challenge there on the edge of the Tottenham box. Saliba then lofts it back forward. Tottenham trying to get it away. Is Sarr caught by Eze? Yes, he is, and that's a free kick for Tottenham. He's been quiet, Eze. I know he scored the goal.
You've got to get him on the ball. He's the sort of player you need to find. If you find him, he'll create something, but you need to find him.
Yeah, they found him for the most important moment, and that's we should add.
Well, he's created. Again, the ball found him, then he slid it to Trossard. Trossard should get a shot off at goal.
Yes.
If they need to get him on the ball more, because he does create chances.
We are about to move into, by my watch, the final minute of stoppage time at the end of this first half. It will be a 53-minute first half. Will that one drop off of Saliba to Kolomwani? International teammates, of course. Dragushin again wins a challenge. Gallagher goes down fighting for it. Timber picks it up. Here's Saka, tracked all the way by Spence. He's given the ball to Simons. Xavi Simons to Gallagher, just had to make sure that he knew what was at his back. 3 red and white shirts around him. He lost his footing and he lost possession. And now maybe Eza will as well. He was challenged, no foul because Trossard's on it. Trossard out to Nkapie. At least 2 in the box for him for, but he's taken too long. Rice. And that might be the thing that people talk about Arteta, because there was a chance to get the ball in there with at least 2 there to go for, and they've elected not to. Is that Nkapie or is that Arteta?
I think that's Arteta.
Here's Nkapie. Now he does deliver into the box. Header away by Dragushin. It's picked up, given away by Simons to Saka in the box. Gets it back from Timber. Bukayo Saka twisting, turning. Can he work space for Saliba? His delivery towards Gyökeres. Still Tottenham can't get it away. Maybe now. Kolomwani has given it to Saka. And there is a foul. It goes Tottenham's way. It's the half-time whistle. It is the half-time whistle. Well, it has been breathless. It has been, frankly, attack against defence. But on the one occasion the defence got forward, Tottenham got the goal mere 2 minutes after conceding. And that's why, at half-time at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, it is Tottenham Hotspur 1, Arsenal 1 in the North London derby here on Premier League Live.
Previously on White and Jordan.
I don't think there should be a transfer. Now, I know you do with your ghastly little yellow tie twice a year.
Adrenaline-fueled, fiery exchange.
All right, it's funny how I was mentioned virtually in the same sentence as the slugs of the world.
Danger overhead.
Superstar Breakfast.
Breakfast radio that passes first time.
Thursday mornings from 6 on TalkSport.
The TalkSport app. Yeah, it's the TalkSport app. Swipe left for TalkSport 2.
Und be first past the post mit Supersonic Live Horse Racing.
Swipe right for TalkSport.
Meet unmissable live commentary of the biggest Europa and Champions League showdowns.
Alles klar?
Give your phone
the finger.
The TalkSport app.
What are you waiting for? Download it from your app store
now. TalkSport Drive.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
With me, Darren Bent, and Andy Goldstein.
Unrivaled, opinionated comment from the biggest names in sport.
Insane acceleration, outstanding pace, next generation slipstream sport.
High performance afternoon radio with more goal talk to the gallon.
Belt up and listen.
TalkSport Drive with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
The fastest football on the way home.
Trans Euro Express. Sunday night from 9 on TalkSport.
The nation's premier all-action weekly international football program from Paris to Barcelona. Unmissable European football talk.
Trans Euro Express. The world's favourite European football program. Sunday night from 9 on TalkSport.
All the breaking big sports news, live football scores and interviews. There's transfer fees and injuries, even full match commentaries.
The TalkSport app. Hear, watch and scroll unbeatable content from the world's biggest sports radio station. Whenever you want, wherever you want. Available from the App Store now. Terms and conditions apply.
Wow, what a first 45 minutes at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Here's a ball into the left-hand channel for Gyökeres. Gyökeres cuts inside, shoots low, and that has flashed across goal. Vicario, I'm not 100% sure would have had it covered, but Gyökeres goes just wide for Arsenal.
Inches wide, as you say. I'm not sure Vicario was getting across there.
The ball into the back post, headed back and towards goal by Saliba. That's a great chance, and he's nodded it wide.
No pace on the ball for Saliba. He just guides it towards goal. He's got to hit the target without a doubt, but I still think the Spurs player would have cleared it.
Saka into the box for Eze! He's done it again against Tottenham! Arsenal lead at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The ground he was meant to grace in white. It is the Reds of North London who are celebrating again. Tottenham 0, Arsenal 1.
Tottenham are going to be a little bit disappointed with the defending on the left-hand side that allows Saka to get into the byline.
Here comes Colomwani in the box. Low, driven home to open his Premier League account. He has made a name for himself in the best league in the world. And the derby has liftoff for Tottenham now.
Gabriel's got to commit and go to the ball. He doesn't, and it allows Colomwani to get to the corner of the 6-yard box and fire a low shot past Raya. Terrible from Declan Rice.
Ball, but it drops only to Nkapie, who finds Saka. What a save by Vicario. It hits Van de Ven and goes behind.
Saka should score.
What a chance.
It's brilliant goalkeeping from Vicario, but Saka should score. But that's the second time now he's got in behind the Spurs defence from one long straight ball.
Well, Chris Perry, have you caught your breath yet?
Just about.
It's been... I mean, I really thought that Arsenal would come out flying. They did. And really, they didn't stop flying. So how on earth are we at 1-1?
Tottenham have set up exactly as kind of we thought Igor Tudor's team would be. They're allowing Arsenal to have possession, but Arsenal are finding spaces. They're getting the ball into their wide players. They've got the ball into Gyökeres. They're having lots of success, Arsenal, and have got into Tottenham's penalty area on numerous occasions and just haven't been able to create enough apart from the goal where, you know, Saka got to the byline, cut it back, and Eze with a decent finish with his weaker right foot. But Tottenham just haven't really attacked. I mean, they haven't been able to put any sort of sustained pressure on Arsenal. They haven't been able to create any sort of attacks. The only probably one or two times that Spurs have had the ball anywhere near the final third have been when Arsenal have made a mistake, and it was a huge mistake by Declan Rice for the goal. I mean, what he's thinking, a man of his experience, a player of his stature, he wins the ball back, he's under no pressure, he's getting closed down by two players, and he tries to do a little skill and go in between the two of them just outside his own 18-yard box. They've just taken the lead in what could arguably be the biggest game of their season so far. He just needs to put that in Rosehead, get everybody back into shape and say, let's calm down, we've just taken the lead in this game against our local rival. This is massive. We need to hold on to this now until half-time. And he has made the biggest mistake of his season so far, and he was punished brilliantly by Colomwani.
Well, would you say that there was still, though, the opportunity for Arsenal to maybe not stop it, but make it more difficult for Colomwani?
I do think there was a chance that certainly Gabriel, he made the decision not to go and close Colomwani down, thinking that Colomwani would have slipped a pass to his teammate in the box and they might have scored. But I think in that situation, Colomwani's the one holding all the cards, and so you have to make him do something else. Not what he wants to do. He wants to be able to run to goal under no pressure and get a shot off. Yeah. What Gabriel needs to make him do is make him make another decision. Make him make that pass. Make him make that pass perfectly under pressure. And he didn't do enough.
Can you believe that this could be Igor Tudor's game plan for Spurs, to be this camped inside pretty much their own box, but certainly their own half?
I don't think he would have wanted to have to defend as much as they have done. I think his game plan is certainly to sit back and try and make it difficult for Arsenal and get players behind the ball, but Arsenal have been really, really clever. They've identified spaces that they must have just thought would have been there initially when they'd been working on it this week, because obviously you're not quite sure what shape he's going to play first game and all that, but they must have looked at it and thought he's more than likely going to play this shape, so this is where the spaces will be. They've got Gyökeres in down the side more than I've seen him getting down the side probably in the whole of the season against anyone else, and he's been very good today, you know.
Yeah.
He likes the physical contact. He's been up against Dragoshin, who's played well as well, by the way.
He really
but
has.
that's been a really good battle. But Arsenal still haven't made a really, really clear second opportunity. But that Saka one over the top, and that's a worry for me. I've seen Mickey van der Ven been done twice in behind. I haven't seen that since he's come to the club.
No.
He doesn't look fit.
No, certainly something. I think the word you used was heavy, and I think that's a very good description of the way that he is moving. I mean, one-on-one, there was the lost run of Gyökeres at one point as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So certainly an issue for him. So on the basis of what you've just said then about Igor Tudor, hoping that they wouldn't defend so well. I mean, Colin Mwani's done all right. He's not really won much when the ball's got played up to him, but equally, even if he hasn't really got anybody around him. Do you think Tudor's message is, all right, look, we do have to keep this tight, but get around Colin Mwani just that little bit more? Is it worth the gamble of doing that? Or while it's 1-1, do you go, well, look, we've got to try it at a point today is a great result for us? I think,
having played at Juventus, having managed at Juventus, having come through a lot in Italian football, managed at Lazio and Hellas Verona as well.
And Udinese.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit indoctrinated into Italian style that he'd take a point here. A point's a great point for Spurs today.
Yeah. But that therefore means you're saying no more
of the same. More of the same. And he'll be hoping that they can go and get another goal. Don't get me wrong on the counter-attack, but I don't think he's going to overcommit to do that.
Counter. I genuinely can't think of a counter.
No, Arsenal are good, aren't they? Physically, Gabriel and Saliba are two of the best physically to deal with a counter-attacking team.
And similarly, therefore, more of the same for Mikel Arteta, I'd have thought. Is it? Just keep going. Miles the better team.
They need to create better chances.
Yeah.
They haven't created absolutely brilliant chances.
No, not as of yet. That is the voice of Chris Perry, who will be alongside me for the second half as well. Buckle up, guys. It's on its way. Second half commentary on the way on Premier League Live.
TalkSport Podcast League. Outspoken, the best of White and Jordan.
Now available in one unmissable daily podcast.
He's going to be in charge for a considerable period of time.
It's a load of old pony.
The final word on the final scores with Jim Mighty White.
I really mean this with sincerity.
And Simon the Saint Jordan.
What on earth have you got? I think I look like the Saint. I think it's a Simon Temple outlook. I expected to hear the
Outspoken, out now.
Listen or download for free from your favourite podcast portal.
Kick it!
TalkSport Superstar Breakfast.
You wake up late for work, man, you don't want to go. Because Brazil and Paula haven't finished their show. Pump up the volume and make lots of noise.
You're listening to the Breakfast Beastie Boys. You gotta fight for your rights to follow.
The original ill communication from the breakfast party animals. Alan Al Rock Brazil and Ray Party Paula on the TalkSport Superstar Breakfast every Friday morning from 6.
Whoa, yeah.
The TalkSport app. Yeah, it's the TalkSport app. Swipe left for TalkSport 2.
Und get in-depth interviews, the latest team news und all the sporting best bits.
Swipe right for TalkSport.
Mit unmissable Kick-by-Kick commentary of over 500 games of wunderbar live football across the season. Das ist gut.
Give your phone
the finger.
The TalkSport app.
It's 2 fingers so invented.
What are you waiting for? Download it from your App Store now. TalkSport Drive.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport. TalkSport Drive with me, Darren Bent.
And me, Andy Goldstein.
Sports radio that's guaranteed to go the distance. Move up through the gears with all the day's sports. Daily football debates, plus a bootload of banter.
Watch the lights. Release the clutch. Drive!
TalkSport Drive with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport. The fastest football on the way home.
That's going to come back to haunt me, that one, isn't it?
It's another day of box office football here on TalkSport. So let's have a quick rundown of today's blockbusting lineup. In midfield, it's Anthony Flash Gordon.
Get heroic coverage of every epic clash.
Morgan Buck Rogers.
On the radio station that knows, with great power comes great responsibility.
And Martin Oda, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, these are the nights when heroes are made, where history will be written.
Also, Kyle Skywalker.
Magnificent counter-attack.
And Tyrone Mings the Merciless.
Supporters assemble. Captain's goal.
TalkSport.
You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of the North London derby. Tottenham Hotspur against Arsenal from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm Toby Gillis, your commentator, with Chris Perry, former Tottenham defender, alongside me. This is Premier League Live. I'd be amazed if there were any changes at the break. The Arsenal players are emerging to booze in this late February early evening in North London. 3.5 miles separate the two grounds, and this 199th North London derby remains delicately poised. A point would be outstanding, you would think, for Tottenham in what is increasingly becoming a battle against relegation. A point for Arsenal leaves them with a 3-point gap to Manchester City, but having played a game more and with just 1 goal better goal difference. That would mean, should City win their game in hand, albeit it is much later in the season, then they would move above them on goals scored at least. It'll be Tottenham that start us off in the second half, with still a huge number of empty seats ahead of kickoff once again.
It's quite slow, behind the scenes there when you try and go for your half-time cup of tea. It takes a while, let me tell you.
Yeah. It's a big old stadium to navigate, that's for sure as well. Probably in the biggest bar in a football stadium anywhere in the world at this moment in time. They might need a little bit of warmth from a drink or two, these Tottenham fans, ahead of this second half, if it's anything like the first, because they were under the cosh, to say the least.
Well, seem to have another communication problem, is why we're waiting.
Yeah.
It's the other linesman. Surely they've
crazy.
just been sat in the changing room. They've had 15 minutes to sort that out, and they haven't done that.
Archie Gray
surely you check that before you come out on the pitch.
You'd think so. Archie Gray and Conor Gallagher having a conversation with the ref. Sometimes ref cam gives you a little bit too much of a close-up of the players, because of course they have to get quite close to each other to communicate, and we pretty much just saw right down Conor Gallagher's ear, which is not an angle I ever thought I'd get of him, I have to be honest with you. Mikel Arteta again in discussion with the fourth official, who this afternoon is Sam Barrett, and he will be desperately hoping that his side once again can come away from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the 4th consecutive time, it would be, with victory and all 3 points that would give them that cushion above Manchester City once again. Remember, win every game between now and the end of the season, either Arsenal or City, and they will be champions. It is in both of their hands. And we're only a couple of weeks away from the Carabao Cup final as well, Chris. Well, it was our producer Jeremy that put this to you earlier, so I'll ask you on air. How much do you think the outcome of that might impact the league game, which is just a couple of matches afterwards, if you take out the Champions League in between?
I'm not sure. I think it's a completely separate game. I think both teams will view it as a completely separate game.
No messing, no. I mean, say one hammered the other.
Yeah, unless there's an unusual result.
Yes.
In terms of one team gets absolutely battered by another.
Yeah.
I don't see it having that much impact on the rest of the season. I think what you'll get is it's going to be a very tight game. And then I think the second game at the Etihad is going to be a very tight game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, I mean, we're still waiting for the game to get underway again. Let's give you the 11s because there are no changes at the break. Guillermo Vicario is the Tottenham keeper. It's then Joao Palhinha, Radu Dragushin and Mickey van der Ven the back three, with Archie Gray and Jed Spence right and left. Then Yves Bissouma and Conor Gallagher in the midfield, and Pap Matar and Javi Simons where they can, supporting Randall Kolo Muani. And then for Arsenal, Raya the keeper, Timber the only man booked in the game so far, Saliba, Gabriel and Capier, Eza the goal scorer for Arsenal, Zubamendi and Rice, and then Saka, Trossard and Gyökeres.
I don't think the linesmen should be smiling about this. This is really bad for the players. Really, really bad.
Well, we're at what are we now? 5:44. We're past 5:44. Now there were 8 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half, and finally Peter Banks, who does have a much more serious look on his face, you would think will be able to communicate with his team and get us back underway. So at least an extra 5 minutes, and the players will have been getting cold, you would have thought, as well. And finally we are back underway with Tottenham shooting left to right in this second half. Vicario with the long clearance for Spurs after receiving it from the ball backwards. Is Colomwani offside? No. Here's Simons, left side of the 18-yard box. Javi Simons trying to work space to shoot. Does! Oh, and Raya flying to his right-hand side, makes the save, bats it down and collects as well. That was outstanding from David Raya, and now the flag goes up.
Well, I don't think it was a foul. I think he's fouled as he brings that. I think Colomwani was offside. I think it would have, had Javi Simons put this in the back or not, I think it would have come back for the offside. But it's a brilliant save. He doesn't see this much, tries to sneak it to the near post. I think he just gets caught here by Jed Spence as he's trying to attack quickly.
Well, it'll go down in the expected goals counter in the end, because they don't re-VAR those, do they? So Tottenham have had their second shot on goal, and they will be desperately hoping that they can find a way through here, as Saliba with a really good challenge there on Simons slides out to the right hand side for Timber, up to Saka, takes it to the byline, hangs up the right footed cross. Here's Rice, heads it down to Eze. Just wonder whether Rice didn't realise how much space was around him. He could have backed up and volleyed that. Tottenham clear.
Yeah, he had more time than he thought. Then he could have had a touch on his chest and volleyed it.
Ball up to Gyökeres in the D. Oh, it's rifled home by Victor Gyökeres, and is that the goal that makes him Arsenal's main man? A minute after his goalkeeper saved a similar effort by Simons at the other end, Victor Gyökeres restores Arsenal's lead from just outside the area, unerring from the Swede. Tottenham 1, Arsenal 2.
Well, this is brilliant from Yuri and Timber initially. Timber, everyone's thinking he's going to put a normal cross in, not bend it behind the Tottenham defenders into the box, and what he does is he drags it short in behind because he sees that Eze has made the run into the box. It's really clever pass. Eze has taken and left the space for Gyökeres to receive. One touch with his right foot, he's in the D, and then he hits an absolutely brilliant shot. He whips it in with his right foot. Vicario has no time to react. It hits the back of the net before he's even dived, really. It's a brilliant finish from Gyökeres. It really is unerring.
He got just the faintest of fingers to it, did Vicario, but he was left with absolutely no chance. And what a huge moment that might be in the career of Victor Gyökeres, as Tottenham now immediately look to respond again. Arsenal clear, header by Dragushin, on by Gallagher up towards Colomwani, battling with Saliba, who wins it. That'll run out of play, will it? No. It's kept in by Spence, gives it to Sarr, infield to Simons, up to Colomwani, trying to roll Saliba. Think Arsenal will get this away, they will now. Dragushin wins it. Trossard, he tries to release Gyökeres, who I think would have been offside.
Just, wouldn't he? But Tottenham holding a really high line, aren't they? Really high line there. That's exactly what Gyökeres wants. Tottenham to hold that high line and keep taking a chance on it.
You won't get an assist, Eza, but I think the point you made there about the movement and his involvement in that goal.
It opened up the space, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. And essentially there was a big gap between the two centre-halves as Spence comes forward, narrow position on the left, tries to play it into Colomwani, it hit Timber, runs for Arsenal, and Raya clears up towards Gyökeres.
It's brilliant again. It's a foul by Dragoshin, and it isn't given, but it's brilliant from Gyökeres.
Yeah, just holding off the Romanian.
They're having a great battle, those two.
Here's Spence again on the left, just inside Arsenal's half. Bukayo Saka comes and closes his England colleague down. Infield to Sarr. He spreads play out to the near side. Tottenham in this second half have had more of the play than they did at any point in the first half, really. You want more time in control, but they conceded.
You wonder if Arsenal have almost said, if we drop off a little bit and allow them to actually have the ball, there's going to be more space for us to go and take advantage of.
Spence gets it infield to Simons, just inside his own half, and he'll spread play now to Gray. Little slip there by Nkapie. Gray slips it beside him and gives it to Gallagher. Then Gray goes on and he'll get there first. Nkapie coming to meet him. I think he wanted the corner there, didn't he? It didn't come. His cross went straight, floating into the arms of the slick-back-haired David Raya. Then the challenge by Palhinha, wins it high up for Tottenham, and here goes Spence up to the edge of the area. Jed Spence up against Timber. There's the delivery in, taking a deflection off of an Arsenal head and into the arms of Raya.
Sloppy again from Arsenal on the counter there. Trossard needs to keep possession.
Obviously Arsenal fans want to win the league, that goes without saying, but it will not be lost on them that they're sending Tottenham closer to a relegation battle as Eza gets away from Palhinha down the left hand side and into the area. Eza blocked, comes out to Trossard, and then a challenge again by Palhinha, and Vicario manages to prevent the corner.
Well, the skill from Eza on the touchline to get past Palhinha was mesmerising, and he gets into the box, he tries to get his shot. It's a brilliant recovery challenge, but so easy for Eza to get past him.
Ball away by Van der Ven, blocked by Saliba.
I don't know about you, Toby.
Spurs at left back.
For me, he gives you so much more as a number 10 than Odegaard does, or anyone else that plays in there for Arsenal. I'm a little bit biased because I obviously had a little... He came through at Millwall when I was there, and Millwall released him, and I felt a bit sorry for him, but...
I mean, what he needs, I think... Oh, as Simons bursts away for Tottenham. He's got Colomwani to his left, he's got Archie Gray to his right. Simons going in alone, runs into Gabriel. Colomwani prods it into the middle. Nkapie is there to clear. What I think he needs is... even to a degree at Crystal Palace, some people sort of talked about him as a moments man. Does he impact an entire game? Does he take control of games? That would be the criticism that plenty have on him.
Who does? Which number 10 in the world, apart from Lionel Messi, does that?
I mean, and that's what I was about to say, is he needs someone to say that, really, and go... Because, I'll tell you what I think. I think Mikel Arteta wants
I think Mikel Arteta wants him to be better without the ball. I think that's the problem. And you haven't signed him for what he does without the ball.
No. But there's obviously a reason why, it's taking him time. That's a good ball to Gallagher. If he can keep it in by the corner flag, he just about can, Conor Gallagher tries to cross, takes a little deflection.
It's a foul.
That's another one. He's pushed the defender.
It's a foul.
And that is a free kick to Arsenal. It was a good finish, but I think you're absolutely right. It was a little nudge as the ball came to him.
It's not Igor Tudor suggesting it's a dive. He clearly puts two hands in the back of the defender at the near post, which I think was Gabriel, and pushes him underneath the ball.
Mind you, that wasn't a foul earlier when Jed Spence was giving Bukayo Saka a massage, so you never know, but I think you're absolutely right. When a goal is going to emerge.
VAR are going to look at it anyway, but to me it just looks, there's enough contact. There's a little push. There's two hands.
I mean, I'll have to say, Gabriel does not need to fall over.
It stops him heading it, but it's clear. It's clear.
It won't be a foul. It won't be given.
Because the referees...
But it's embarrassing that he's fallen over from that. That's not. It's not barely
He shouldn't fall over, but he's trying to make it clear that he was fouled. It's a clear foul by Colomwani.
It won't be allowed to stand.
No.
And a hand clap.
And Colomwani knows he's done it, and he just tries to get away with it. And if Peter Banks doesn't give that, I don't think it gets overturned.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I think if Peter Banks doesn't give that as a free kick, I think they say it's goal, because there has to be a certain amount of contact.
So soft. Yeah. Tottenham fans think that they've been hard done by. Arsenal, in the meantime, are getting on with it. Saka, will he find Eza? Away by Palhinha. Bouncing ball for Simons to chase onto. Header back by Saliba. Just had enough on it to get back to Raya. Just waited and waited and waited. And allowed Simons to come close. I have to say, again, no, I mean, maybe even more so than the first half, Tottenham have reacted better to going behind.
I think they find it easier to play when they're behind. There's less pressure on them.
As the ball might run to Saka, will it? No, Van de Ven was there. But awkwardly went back to his goalkeeper. Still doesn't look absolutely right, just Van de Ven today. Needs must, I guess.
He looks like he's limping, doesn't he? He's carrying one of his legs.
I think he really does, yeah. And he hasn't made...
Well, that's the problem for Spurs as well. If Igor Tudor does want to play three at the back, and he wants three centre-backs. I mean, Palhinha's not a centre-back already, and he's not playing. You've got Romero, who's fit, but Danto's been struggling with injury. Dragusin's only just come back from a long-term injury.
Well, with Romero still with 2 more games after this out suspended, his option from the bench is either Sousa, who's the left-back that they've signed, or 19-year-old James Rosewell,
who I don't know an awful lot about, and I'm pretty good with players coming through academies. So
well, I mean, absolutely. Whereas Arsenal have got defenders coming out their ears, of course, and my understanding is that they're about to bring on Christian Mosquera, possibly for Jurrien Timber.
That surprised me. I would do it for Hincapié. And maybe because Timber's got the yellow card, it can only be because of that.
Do you think there's a knock? Here's Declan Rice in on the left-hand side. Rice cuts it back. Behind it goes by Sarr. Corner Arsenal.
I'm surprised Declan Rice didn't go for goal himself there. Worked the space brilliantly. It's that space again, wide of the centre-backs. They found so much space in those areas, Arsenal. I think he could have taken it a little bit earlier and bent it with his right foot towards the far post. He decides to get to the byline and cut it back. Really good recovery from Sarr.
It is Jurrien Timber. So as you say, it's either to do with the yellow card or it's an injury.
I don't think you take Timber off unless it, as you say, they're worried about the yellow card or his injury, because I think he's the best fullback whether he plays left back or right back.
Well, he's gone forward, Mosquera, having come on to attack this corner, which Rice is going to take. Timber is still there, just watching on his haunches. There's the delivery, punched awkwardly by Vicario. Into the middle it goes from Gyökeres into the arms of Vicario, who's recovered well. And he will fly that ball up and over the halfway line. And guess who's there first? From taking the corner to being the first man back defensively, Declan Rice. Throw in taken quickly up to Colomwani.
And then Saka's the defender on the second one.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And then Gyökeres has gone down, Trossard I should say, under a challenge from Archie Gray.
But that tells you everything about Arsenal's setup. Maybe isn't great. Most people would leave a defender back. They've got Saka as the last man there, and Declan Rice had to run fully 60 yards to get back in to stop a counter-attack. Surely you're winning 2-1 away from home. You are a little bit careful when you leave someone back.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was that I watched leave more bodies up than anyone else
Chelsea,
in recent.
It
was Chelsea.
Chelsea did it really late, didn't they?
And then Arsenal had to leave players.
Well, you do. You have to go back.
Why are we not seeing that more?
You don't take that chance.
Trossard's not been able to prevent the ball going out for a throw. Tottenham will have the ball right down by their own corner flag. Tottenham 1, Arsenal 2, 13.5 minutes in the second half play. Archie Gray's throw. Bouncing ball, which the referee has decided there was a foul in there.
Hincapié, I'm not a big fan.
And Dominic Solanke is stripped.
He's just given away a cheap foul there. Dominic Solanke getting ready. Are Spurs going to go 2 up top, or maybe just get some fresh legs on?
Spence is being penned in here by Mosquera. Oh, he's giving it away to Saka. Saka, Eza outside the area. Into Saka! Straight at the keeper. And it bounces back off of Radu Dragushin into Vicario.
Well, he should score again, Saka. Wins it back brilliantly, Mosquera. Saka plays a little 1-2 with Eza. Beautiful weight on the pass from Eza. Perfectly. First touch finish with his right foot. He should score. It's too high. He needs to hit it low, Saka, if he's going to score there. Good save from Vicario, though.
Away it goes by Spurs once again. Chasing is Sarr, but it's Mosquera to Saliba. Bouncing volleyed ball forward. Paulinho won it and is pushed by Gyökeres.
Well, isn't that similar to the Gabriel situation? There's not a lot of contact there, but if the defender makes enough of it, referees are very tempted to give it, aren't they?
He has not scored many goals that have made an actual difference to the outcome, Gyökeres. 1-0 against Everton, the only one without his goals they wouldn't have won, as Eza plays it through to Saka. He bobbles that one towards goal. It's going to come for Eza again.
Might be
and it's an
offside
empty
here.
net. And Arsenal, for the time being, bang on the hour, think they've got a third. And Eberici Eza with 5 in 2 games for Arsenal against Spurs.
Yeah, this is going to be, again, Arsenal win it back. Do brilliantly on the counter-attack. Eza releases the ball to Saka. It's just going to be whether Saka's onside when he plays that pass. Saka goes through again. He should score and he misses. Again, it's sloppy, really sloppy from Dragushin. Eza nicks in on the header, then slices it away. He's onside. It's Paulinho who plays him on.
And it was Paulinho who made the block that bounced back to Eza for him to have the empty net. And after such an outstanding game as well, the ball was really given away by Dragushin with trying a little cushion header into the midfield to Bissouma, and it was just taken away.
It's a brilliant tackle from Van der Ven to stop Saka scoring, and then Paulinho just can't react. He can't sort his feet out to clear the danger. Comes off the back of his leg into Eza, one touch to his right hand side and just slots it into the empty net. Probably just the man you want at the moment to be on the ball in that sort of situation. Was so calm. Well, Mikel Arteta's got his selection right today in terms of who's going to play number 10, that's for sure.
What a moment. And that narrative around his signing just builds ever greater.
Well,
Dominic Solanke's on. And it is not for Kolo Muani. They have gone for the 2 up top. It is for Conor Gallagher, who I have to say has been anonymous. He's been in good form as Dominic Solanke.
He's a good player, isn't he? I think he's a good player, just needs to stay fit.
He has scored in the North London derby, of course. An own goal. So, and in fact, Tottenham's record in North London derbies with own goals recently is unbelievable. 4 in the last 6 meetings. 1 for Solanke last season, 1 each for Højbjerg and Romero in the 2 games the season before, and Hugo Lloris back in January of 2023 as well. Amazing statistic, that. And really, they've been the architects of their own downfall in many ways today as well. As they've given the ball away again to Hincapié. Here's Eza into Trossard. It was unselfish, it might have opened up, for a shot.
I think if he uses the one of Trossard,
absolutely what I was thinking. The defender had gone with Trossard.
And could he score 2 hat-tricks in the same season in the North London derby? I mean, that would be incredible.
Yeah, it really, really would.
Tottenham are trying to play out from the back now. They have they've gone to a back 4 pretty much. No, they haven't actually. Archie Gray, Jed Spence still. They've got like a 3-4-1-2 formation now with Solanke and Kolo Muani up top. Papsar's playing as a number 10 now almost. You'd like to see Xavi Simons play a little bit higher, but He's the one coming deep to receive the ball.
Goes without saying that no player has ever scored 2 hat-tricks in the North London derby in the same season. In fact, no player has scored 2 hat-tricks in the North London derby.
Right, he's going to have an opportunity maybe today.
You would think.
Maybe.
Proper history on the line. He was only the 4th player ever to score a hat-trick in the history of this fixture earlier in the campaign. Can you name the other 3? It's a real tough one for you.
No.
The most recent was 1978.
Oh, wow.
Alan Sunderland, as Eza picks it up again on the attack, tries to dribble through and runs into Joao Palhinha. Terry Dyson, the only Tottenham player to do it, in 1961. And Ted Drake in 1934.
Ted Drake, now I've heard of Ted Drake. Obviously heard of Alan Sunderland, scored the winner in the 79 FA Cup final, I think.
That's right, yeah. It was a little bit before my time, but certainly a name that resonates with English football fans for that reason. Solanke tries to make a block down the right-hand side and does so. It's a throw into Arsenal, which Mosquera will take. He's an incredibly impressive young man when you meet him, Eberechi Eza.
Well, he's made a goal there for someone else nearly, and he's benefited because he's continued his run. And he's put 2 or 3 passes. I mean, he could have 2 or 3 assists today as well if Saka had been on it.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, look, we are in the business of enjoying tight football matches. As Gyökeres picks up in the area, will it fall for Trossard? Tottenham will get it away. You know, from a neutral's point of view, I'm here to watch a competitive football match, but this scoreline reflects the game, maybe even still flattering Spurs over the course of the 65.5 minutes we've had so far. As Mosquera finds Saka, Saka's shot deflects out to Rice up towards Eza, trying to keep it alive. Rice ditto, away by Gray. Gabriel underneath it. So really happy to get into the physical battle with him. Simons tries to bundle it forward. Look, if Tottenham were to get one back here, as there's a push there by... How Kolo Muani, by the totting up process, hasn't had a yellow card yet, I've no idea.
I've no idea.
One.
It's a lot of free kicks he's given away. None of them have been serious fouls.
No, none individually worth a yellow, but...
Well, Richarlison, I think, has to be a replacement. You're not going to go 3 centre-forwards on the pitch. I would say Kolo Muani maybe comes off here, but... I like Richarlison. In this sort of fixture, it's made for him. It's interesting. You said to me at half-time, how many do you think Arsenal will win if it carries on the same? And I said I think they'll need 3 goals to win this game.
Yeah. Well, they've got their 3. I can't see Spurs scoring another at this moment in time as Dragoshin is pulled down by Gyökeres.
Substitution maybe now.
For whom again, this game, you know, his goal, in theory you could take it away and it wouldn't impact it, but it was when it was. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly that. It was of huge importance.
It really was. Especially when Spurs had just had that fillip of the attack where Simons' shot was saved. It is Kolo Muani who comes off. And this is looking at this moment in time like the first time he'll have scored under Igor Tudor, and his team have gone on to lose the match.
Well, Richarlison's made for games like this. He puts himself about, he uses his body. He can score goals from nothing at times as well.
Ball will be clipped away by Vicario towards Archie Gray, who heads it into the middle. It's kept alive there well by Solanke, finding Xavi Simons. Simons out to the left-hand side for Spence. I know that often we see players on the sort of wrong wing, if you want it in quotes, in terms of their feet. I always think Jed Spence looks incredibly awkward as a right footer on the left-hand side.
He's so attacking minded normally and so quick and comfortable in possession when he plays on the right. As you say, you just lose so much with him on the left-hand side.
He's so desperate to keep it on his right foot the whole time.
And they've got Destiny Udogie at the moment, obviously injured, who would absolutely suit this system down to a ground.
Yeah, he really would. Gray,
yeah,
but this isn't his position.
Again, Porro's brilliant to play in this system.
That was Solanke intending a ball to Archie Gray. It was actually blocked at source. Gray had made a decent run into the box from the right-hand side. Tottenham have it back in the centre circle. Look, there's still time for Spurs to make this competitive, but something has to change, something has to give. Gray up to Sarr on the bounces off of
Will it be a long
Gabriel.
throw? Will it be a long throw, or will they wait? Archie Gray doesn't look like it's going to be Dragoshin up for a long throw.
No, he's taken it short to Richarlison by the corner flag, penned in by Gabriel. Gabriel's emerged with it, but there's still two white shirts to get it away from. Richarlison fighting him for
goal kick,
two Brazilians.
Yeah, goal kick will be given.
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone Arsenal's way. International teammates. Have to forget that for this one.
Is Richarlison back in this? He hasn't been in the squad for a while, has he?
No, but he has. He obviously has played with him. Yeah,
in the past, but just needs to get some games. I think Richarlison.
He's a funny one, isn't he? Because he's never felt since he left Watford really that he's ever been totally appreciated wherever he's gone. He's never quite scored enough goals as a number 9 for either the Everton fans or the Tottenham fans. I thought Everton was a brilliant move for him, and it was just a really great club for him. And you'd hope that he would build at Spurs, but didn't quite score enough goals for whatever reason. But I tell you what, I think you're right. It's a nightmare to play against as Trossard comes forward. He bends one now. It doesn't get enough whip on it.
Well wide, wasn't it? Well wide in the end, but a really nice move by Arsenal from the right-hand side of the pitch out to the left-hand side. Cuts inside on his right foot, looking to bend it in the far corner. 2-3 yards wide in the end, but that's where you want Trossard on the ball. In those sort of areas, he does get his shots away and he does score goals.
Well, this, as things stand, is a very good result for those in and around the relegation battle. Keeping Tottenham there. Nottingham Forest beaten earlier by a 97th minute Alexis McAllister goal at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 1. West Ham, of course, got a point yesterday, which really they should have got more against Bournemouth, and had they done so, this would have been even more of a problem for Spurs as Eza breaks forward, gives it to Saka inside the area. Eza's available. Saka tries to sneak one in at the near post, and it was covered by Vicario, who let it go wide.
It's the only amazing thing is Saka hasn't scored today. I mean, Eza again driving forward. Not the best ball that he's played all afternoon, but Saka 1v1 against Van der Ven, comes inside, tries to give the goalkeeper the eyes going far post, drag it in at the near post, but just hits the side netting.
Tell you what, Eza was in a load of space on the edge of the box again.
I'm sure he was. I'd be giving it to him.
It
just seems like he's meant to score against Tottenham, doesn't it? I'd be giving it to him every time I'm around the box.
Richarlison can't play a 5-yard pass to Archie Gray. Throw into Arsenal.
It'd be interesting to see whether Arteta, he does like making a substitution, whether he wants to hold on to 3-1 or whether he carries on like this. Because I think if he carries on, Arsenal might score more.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right. And well, looking forward, he's got a home game against Chelsea next, Brighton away, and then what surely will be the toughest fixture of their season, Mansfield away in the FA Cup. Here's Eza, again in that 10 position, just turns, Solanke at his back, takes it off of him legally. Wondered if there was a foul in there. Here's Javi Simons driving through the centre circle, runs into Declan Rice, whose error to allow Tottenham their goal looks like it's going to be covered at this moment in time. Saka approaching the area, Trossard just turned and looked to see where Eza was, but it wasn't an option for him. They might create the space to get a cross in here, but it's a bit all-A football now for Arsenal.
Well, Spurs fans aren't like that.
Back it comes to Saliba, Rice, Nkapie. Rice, Saliba. Goodness knows how many passes this is now. Trossard. And they're just rolling it around with no real pressure on the ball. Is it Nkapie just inside the Tottenham half? To Eza. Now the pressure comes. Still, Spurs can't get it. Palhinha chasing it forward.
He wears his heart on his sleeve, Palhinha, doesn't he? He knows that Tottenham need to force a mistake, and he's He's the one taking
and he's
it.
done it, in fairness.
Yeah, he has,
Because
absolutely.
David Raya has just cleared it into touch. Yes, it's in Tottenham's half, but well done, Joao Paulinho. Into Solanke.
There's a lot of pride in Joao Paulinho, I think, when he puts on anyone's shirt.
Back heel down the line by Trossard, has somehow found Gyökeres. Here's Nkapie. Here's Eze. Eze tries to slip it through to Saka. Might still find Mosquera. Slid back by Van der Ven to the goalkeeper. And
Tottenham need the ball. They're struggling to get the ball to mount an attack, let alone, put Arsenal under any sort of pressure.
Gray gives it to Sarr. Yeah, I mean, the time that they've got the ball is here, right down by their own area, really. And look, Sarr under a little bit of pressure, spins, clears, into touch. Arsenal throw again inside Tottenham's half.
Yeah, Tottenham can't get out at the moment. Arsenal are full on press. They're really up for this now.
Eberechi Eze, for all of his issues in getting in this team at the moment now, has today become their second top scorer in the Premier League this season. That was 6.
Not a very high benchmark, is it?
No, but still, I mean,
it's good for a number 10, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And he hasn't stared a lot lot of games recently.
That's the point I'm making. Yeah, and maybe it's
5 of those against one team, though.
yeah. You would not bet on him not getting that 6, would you? But yeah, he has overtaken Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard and Martin Zubimendi all have 5. But here come Tottenham with Richarlison. He clearly fancies shooting. Instead, he's tried to lay it off to Sarr, who, when the ball was too tame, pulled back Declan Rice.
Right, sloppy from Richarlison, wasn't it? It was a really poor pass from Mosquera initially to give the ball away. I bet he's going to come off here. There's a...
Surely not. Don't spoil the fun.
Trossard for Martinelli.
And there's Eberechi Eze's number.
What did I say to you?
Well, that is a shame. Here we were with our history books out. I mean, 5 against your arch rivals who you were literally minutes away from joining in the very same season is not a terrible call.
Well, he's been really good today. He's created chances for other people. He's taken chances when they've come. And he is... the difference between the two teams, I think you have to say, has been brilliant.
And both goals with his right foot.
Yep.
I mean, he couldn't really miss the second, to be fair. Look, he's a good kid of good character, but you don't get to the top without being steely and without desire, and you can't tell me he's not annoyed about that.
He's had a lot of setbacks early on in his career that he's got over. Released by Arsenal, released by Millwall, was taken by QPR.
Yeah.
People were thinking, can he play? Had to go to Wickham on loan to really go and show what he could do.
He's got a smile on his face, but surely there's a bit of him going, come on, Mikel, give me the 90. Give me as much opportunity as possible to try and get the hat-trick.
He'd have been desperate, wouldn't he? You'd imagine, desperate to get another hat-trick, but credit, let's give Arteta credit, because he didn't play him in the week.
No.
He came on a sub, didn't he, in the week, but because he was obviously going to start this game. That's an interesting picture. We got a picture of, in the stands, Thomas Tuchel sitting next to John McDermott, who used to be academy director at Tottenham, so we'll very much be feeling this today.
Yeah, a painful
now
one,
is the,
if you are of a Spurs persuasion.
I think he's the director of football at the FA, John McDermott, so gone up in the world.
I mean, I'm not sure that Thomas Tuchel's learnt anything about Eze today.
He knew.
No. Does he go? Does he go to the World Cup?
It's so difficult in that position,
isn't it?
It's so difficult. We've got so much talent in that position, but...
And if you are looking at if that's what Eze is to become, is a moments man,
then that's what you want. You need one of those.
You do, but I just wonder whether is Cole Palmer that?
Is he that? I'm not sure he is. At the moment, in the current form he's in, Cole Palmer's an absolutely brilliant player, and I think if he's in top form, he goes ahead of Eze without a doubt.
I think that's right.
But Cole Palmer at the moment is not quite there, is he?
I just wonder whether you think to yourself you trust him to do something mercurial over as it's a nice problem to have.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Arsenal looking to attack again. That's a poor pass by Gyökeres straight to Gray, and Tottenham do bring it away. Here's Solanke, but I mean he's 30 yards inside his own half, Dominic Solanke. Spence waited, found a little gap to Simons, just twists and turns and waits. Allows Arsenal back behind the ball. And
I think Tottenham here have got to find a way just to get another goal. They've got to find and then see if Arsenal crumble under the pressure. That's what they've got to do. They've got to stay in the game, get a goal from somewhere, and see what happens.
I mean, this, bar the Rice error, this has been a statement for Arsenal today.
It really has. But I do think the way Spurs again have set up, as they did at the Emirates, has really played into Arsenal's hands. They've just allowed Arsenal to control the game.
But this has been the game that they should have played against Wolves.
Yes, exactly that. They need to take games to the teams, that they can do it to.
Stop, crucially,
and not
which they haven't. They haven't
You
stopped.
need to score 3, 4, 5. Go and make a statement.
Yeah. And Cappier will take a throw inside the Tottenham half. I mean, they could still get 4 and 5 today.
They could.
If they really want to. And it feels like that's up to them rather than up to Spurs.
I think they've got a little bit... It's got a little bit showboaty in the last 10 minutes or so, and I think they just need to get back to basics, make sure they're playing people in properly, and go and really try and score a 4th and a 5th.
Yeah, I mean, they had that Olay period, didn't they?
It feels like Tottenham are there for the taking.
Yes,
it really does.
It does. And the jeopardy at this moment in time has been taken out of the game. Vicario's clearance, that's headed backwards by Ødegaard. Declan Rice will pick up, deepest man there.
He often is though, isn't he?
Position.
He often is.
Yeah, he is. He's all action, all over, every blade of grass and all of that. And his left-footed ball down the side, looking for Gyökeres, who will continue to work. And Dragoshin has just presented him with the ball.
But that's the beauty. That's what Gyökeres wants. He wants that ball in there. He knew he wasn't going to get it. He will run and chase after any of those balls, and he's now won his team a throw-in right down in the corner. Whereas a lot of centre forwards would have seen that, it's just a ball down the channel, and just given it up. He loves that ball down the channel. He wants that.
We're into the final 9 minutes. There will be stoppage time as well. I wouldn't have thought it'd be as much as there was in the first half, that's for sure. And we ended up with 8. That's Richarlison has a little nudge out at Nkapie, having gone down. But you're right, if Spurs could find a way to get one, then you just wonder.
You do. Well, you will be, just because of
what's
happened in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
And particularly, against Wolves, that if they can cut this to 1 goal, then Arsenal, you would imagine, are going to sit right back on this and allow you to dictate, and anything could happen.
Yeah, you've got to ask that question.
You have to find a way to ask that question.
As they bring on Matis Tel.
And this might be the final twist. I can't see them. It's going to change to a back 4 now, you have to say.
For João Palhinha.
He's been good today, Palhinha.
The injury situation doesn't look like getting much better quickly.
Not immediately anyway, no.
Suggestion that Udogie might be back in March, Danso might be back in March. Mind you, there was a similar suggestion about Richarlison, who's obviously ended up on the pitch from the bench today after his hamstring problem. But beyond that, Bergvall, you're looking at April. Davis, you're looking at April. Kudus, maybe April. Bentancur and Kulusevski might be right at the back of the season, maybe, but probably not. And the others, like Maddison and Odobert, certainly we won't be seeing again this season. Obviously, Christian Romero will be back from his suspension in a couple more games. He will miss Fulham and Palace before returning for Liverpool away.
Kulusevski's, for me, probably been the biggest miss of the season.
Such a shame.
And with Sweden got a playoff game to go to the World Cup as well, and he looks like he's going to miss it.
Yeah, that's a blow with Bergvall as well.
And Isak potentially.
Yes, of course, yeah. They've spread play out to the left-hand side. Here is Matis Tel, the first time. Pristine white shirt, tries to turn Mosquera. Slides it out of play, far side, throw in. The kick comes to Van der Ven. Dragoshin. Gray. Spence on the right-hand side now.
Is Archie Gray's gone to play centre-back?
Centre-half.
Yeah.
That's been given away by Rice to Solanke in the area. Back to Sarr. Here's Spence now. Jed Spence making space, driving it across. Richarlison!
No.
Is it smuggled in? No, cleared off the line by the keeper. It went under Raya. He dived back and quick as a flash sweeped it away with his right hand, just as it was crawling over the line.
That was the moment, wasn't it? Really good from Spence, back on the right-hand side, beats his man, fires it across. It comes
that's close.
It's brilliant.
It is on the line.
It's brilliant from Raya. His reactions, the speed that he gets back, his reflexes are so good. Saved a certain goal.
It initially hit him that slowed the shot down. There's the corner. Referee says that he's going to ask them to take them again. Yeah. And that might just be what they need to avoid a nervy end. But interesting, what we were talking about with Spence earlier.
Straight away,
first time on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, we've got Tell playing left wing back now.
Yeah. Yeah.
He still hasn't changed to a back four, which surprises me.
No, but a left footer on the left and a right footer on the right.
Yep.
And a natural sort of attacking wing back on the right. Just, what a surprise, it pays dividends. Can Tottenham make something of this corner? There's the delivery.
Too big.
Looked to me for a moment like there was a real pull on Radu Dragusin before that corner got taken.
I think there's just so much going on in the boxes from both sets of players. You just never know. I mean, it would have been very fortunate for Richarlison, wouldn't it? Because he didn't really know too much about the final touch. But what a save! Just the speed of his reactions are incredible.
Sensational. I think it was actually Saliba that it came off of. And I think I just saw in slow-mo a view of some fans, one of whom just said, "It's not our day." Well, that's one of those where just a slightly less of a touch off of Saliba, and they get their goal.
A yellow
Bissouma
card.
gets a yellow card for his reaction when a free kick goes against Spurs.
Those sort of tussles have been going all afternoon, and Peter Banks hasn't given a free kick, let alone a yellow card. I think it's a bit harsh.
I'm sure that was for the dissent afterwards.
I would imagine so, yeah. I think it's difficult because referees all afternoon, Gyökeres and Dragusin have been, having a real good tussle, and a lot of the time there's been no free kick given.
Yeah.
And so that then infuriates the players when suddenly it becomes a free kick just because it hasn't been given all through the game.
Yeah. I mean, Eze will get the headlines, but I think the game-turning goal by Gyökeres will thrill Mikel
The timing
Arteta.
of that goal, just straight after half-time, just settles everyone down for Arsenal.
Yeah.
And it was a brilliant goal, brilliantly taken.
Taken their free kick out to the left for Martinelli. Up against Spence, manages to hang the cross up. It's going to drop beyond Richarlison. It'll be chased out to the far side by Tell, who runs into Gabriel, throw into Spurs down by the corner flag. Three minutes of the 90 left. Bissouma with the chance to clear. He's passed it out to Tell. Uses the goalkeeper. With Gray. Spence.
Just wonder if Archie Gray might become one of those players who is a victim of his own versatility.
I'm absolutely convinced of it. Because he's a central midfielder,
yeah,
right?
He is, absolutely.
But he's right back, centre back, midfield. Didn't they put him up top at one point? I'm sure I've seen him up top at one point. So he's certainly played all over the place. It gets you minutes when you're young, doesn't it?
It does,
and
but
then you need to nail something down.
Exactly.
Simon's tackled in the midfield, manages to get away from Zubimendi, quietly effective again
Saka,
today, Zubimendi.
Yellow card, I'd say.
And
this
then
one.
Saka has brought him down, and he's in pain, is Bukayo Saka.
No, he can't. There's no. Tottenham tried to take the free kick quickly. There's no way they can do that. But
well, we saw. Look, it's a different scenario now, and it's later. But we saw Arsenal, let's say, mastering the dark arts against Wolves and ending up paying for it when they didn't have time to try and turn it around when they did concede. But I think that probably did hurt a bit as he came down rather awkwardly on the back of Saka's foot.
I'm not sure exactly who fouled him here. I'm not sure it's a foul.
No, you might be right.
I'm not sure it's a foul. The free kick's given and he just lands on Xavi Simons as he's falling, just lands on Saka, and it would have been painful for him.
Yeah, he landed.
Tottenham tried to take the free kick quickly, but Saka's on the ground. It's at least 2 or 3 yards ahead of where the free kick was given away.
Well, basically, Spurs need to thump this into the back of the net,
They have to score. Yeah, they have to score from this free kick. There's no doubting about that.
Bukayo Saka still receiving the
treatment. And Arsenal need to bring on Noni Madueke.
I suspect they will. Just made the 3 changes.
Well, it's just whether they go
far.
Maybe Calafiori, someone like that. No, they've got Madueke, yeah, like for like.
With the headband, there's not worth taking any risks with the man wearing the captain's armband today, Bukayo Saka. And perhaps at this moment in time, Madueke is in even better form than Saka. He'd certainly have at least the same number of goals as Saka had he played the 90.
Well, some chances today, Saka,
he might
didn't
have had more, yeah, absolutely.
Had some chances today. I think that's the real positive for Arsenal, is they've created a lot of chances today.
He's been usurped, Saka, today as Arsenal's current top scorer in North London derbies. He's got 3 in the past.
Well, he's
can't counter for someone getting 5 in 2, can you?
No.
As Eze now has. I mean, he will go down as an Arsenal hero alone for having won them 2 derbies against Spurs in 1 season.
Yeah, well, they're the ones that fans remember, aren't they?
Of course they
stay. They stay in the memory of fans for longer.
Without the 5 goals, it'd have been 2 draws.
Yeah.
Madueke on, Saka off. And we'll hope
Simons is shooting here.
Nothing worse. So here comes Xavi Simons.
No.
Floated towards the back post and Dragushin gets his head to it. Saliba's there. Into touch it goes.
And Madueke didn't have to do a great job at the back post there, making sure Radu Dragushin didn't get a clean head up.
Throw for Spence. Bissouma gives him it back. If he can find a way, I think Spence starts the next game on the right. If Tell is fit to go from the start, or Udogie.
He won't play Tell there, but Udogie's made for that position.
He's some time away. There's Tell's delivery. Richarlison, it'll drop into the arms of Raya. Just a floating ball for him to claim. We've got a minute and a half gone of 7 stoppage time. And Capier comes forward. Gyökeres tries to slip it through to Martinelli. I think he's offside, Martinelli.
Well, Martinelli needed to get back onside. Gyökeres was waiting for him to get back onside. Tried to delay the pass.
Bissouma and Spence combine. Bissouma tries to clear, hits in Capier, throw in for Spurs.
Well, Arsenal have sat back a little bit, haven't they? They've sat back a little bit, and that's understandable in the position they're in and what's happened recently.
Yep. Yeah, they haven't done that continuing to go for it, as it were. But a double from Eze, either side of Gyökeres, has given Arsenal this commanding lead. Now 3-1. Randall Kolo Muani's equaliser a couple of minutes after the opener feels a long, long time ago.
It really does. Again, I think Tottenham fans are questioning Thomas Frank's mentality, and it doesn't look like Igor Tudor's mentality is going to be much different.
No.
He's going to set them up defensively to be difficult to beat, and he might pay a little bit too much attention to the opposition.
Have they shown you anything to make you think that, he's going to turn their season around and they'll win enough to feel sort of, mid-table-ish as opposed to in a fight to the death?
No, because this is an easy game to go up for. This is the North London derby,
and they haven't really.
And they have. Well, they have. They've. It's been competitive.
Yes. Sort of. It's been competitive in that the defence has not been
He, for me, isn't
blown
a
away.
manager that's going to take the initiative against a team. He's the one who's going to sit back and worry about what the other team do and hope that they win. And that's what they've just got, just lost in Thomas Frank. Exactly the same manager. Thomas Frank's got a lot more Premier League experience.
Madueke to Ødegaard, slips it through to Gyökeres. Archie Gray's holding them up, but not well enough. Victor Gyökeres sets the seal on Arsenal's second 4-1 win over Spurs this season. Held off Gray, in from the left, is a double, and now Gyökeres double. Tottenham 1, Arsenal 4. It is all smiles once again on the red side of North London. 4 away wins in a row for Arsenal at Spurs.
Well, this is going to give Victor Gyökeres and Arsenal a lot of confidence. They really have shown some character today. They've put on a performance. Win it back high at the pitch. Ødegaard slips Gyökeres in, and his strength, he's just too strong for Archie Gray. Archie Gray's trying to get back goal side, and he just holds him off, and a brilliant finish with his right foot. Bends it into the top corner. Great strength, though, to hold off the challenger Gray, and that's what Victor Gyökeres is all about. Put the ball in front of him, give him the chance to go and win the ball and win that duel, and he did. This could be the making of him today. I really think this is going to fill him full of confidence.
And is this the moment that the leash has been taken off of Arsenal? They've gone to Spurs and they've hammered them. And they are going 5 clear at the top once again. Bissouma wins it in the midfield for Tottenham. Simon forward, might run for Richarlison, just runs beyond him and is back with Raya. Bowled out once more for Ødegaard, who's claimed an assist for that goal as well. Madueke tripped by Richarlison. And this is the cavern between these two sides now that we are witnessing. This, as we talked about beforehand, I said to you, on paper, Arsenal big favourites for this. Can they go and do it? They've done it.
Yes, and that is the big thing, because it's going to give them confidence. They've shown character that they needed to show after that result in midweek, and it's going to give them confidence that they can, and it's going to put City under massive pressure now. City have to win again, and that becomes difficult when you have to win games. You're playing catch up.
And it should be pointed out that in 2026, Arsenal and Man City at the conclusion of this game will have played the same number of matches and they will have exactly the same record. The narrative is that Arsenal are cracking up, but City's record in 2026 in the calendar year is exactly the same as Arsenal's now. Gray penned in again, loses out defensive position but won't find Ødegaard. Tottenham clear. And now we simply await the whistle in about 15 seconds time.
I think there might be a couple of minutes out. I think 7 was before.
Yes, before the goal.
Before the goal, but look at how this is the most involved I've seen Gyökeres in an Arsenal game. They've gone forward earlier. They've got him into the game more, and he's just looked a different player today.
Controlled it outstandingly there, and I thought there was a foul on Madueke as Tottenham tried to get away with Solanke. Solanke will slip it to Tell on the left-hand side. Tell now getting away down the left and trying to stab it in field. It'll come to Sarr. Sarr on the volley.
What a take.
Pretty comfortable claim, or comfortable save. I think you're right. The fact that he held it, Raya, was outstanding.
It's a really good hit from Sarr, and it bounces literally half a yard before it reaches David Raya, and he just holds it in his chest. It's great handling, he's been brilliant for Arsenal today.
And there goes the full-time whistle on an absolutely monumental Arsenal victory. At half-time it was in doubt, but their performance absolutely buried Spurs for 90 minutes, frankly. They've dominated their rivals, and they've come to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and won for the 4th year in a row. A double for Eze, a double for Gyökeres, and Arsenal, Chris Perry, go back 5 points clear with a statement at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, an excellent performance from minute 1 through to the 90th minute. One little blip, Declan Rice making probably his first mistake all season, but they really took the game to Spurs. Spurs allowed them to do that by sitting off and being a little bit defensive, but Arsenal were really good today. It's the best, the most I've seen them get Gyökeres involved, the most chances I've seen them create in a game for a little while. They looked really good when they attacked. They defended well, bar a couple of sloppy mistakes, and overall it was a brilliant performance from Arsenal.
Some of the Tottenham players, Archie Gray in particular, absolutely sick. We can't make a mistake here. Arsenal have just said to them, this is the level in the Premier League, and you, my friends, are in a relegation battle.
They are. When you look at it, they're 4 points ahead of West Ham, and West Ham are in the bottom 3.
Yeah.
Now, whether everyone says, and I said earlier, that they've got too much to go down, they've got to go out and prove that they are, those players. And you're playing under pressure. This stadium today was fully behind that Tottenham team.
Yeah.
They had no boos, they had no nothing. You do that in the next home game against someone else, and you will get booed off the pitch. It's a very difficult place to play in at the moment, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, for those players.
It is a celebratory mood for the red half of North London once again on the pitch at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This is one of those results that they're celebrating hugely, knowing what it could mean at the end of the campaign. For Tottenham, it is back to the drawing